Who am I seeing? That's just the body here. Okay, here we go. Nelson and Artie, great. Sorry about that, people.
That's all right.
It wasn't working. I don't know why.
Hey, Harry, how you doing?
I'm on my iPhone.
All right, and we are up and running.
And Harry's here too?
Not yet, but I've at least got us recording.
Let me get this off. Okay, that's better. Not quite so bright. I would call Harry, but I'm actually using my cell phone, so.
And I do have a phone number that connected right at the same time that you
Talking
did,
to Harry
Sue.
right now.
Do you know what his phone number ends in? Because I got something ending in 475 that connected a moment ago.
I don't.
Oh, here
No,
comes
he's
Harry.
Is
599.
that him?
You there, Harry?
He's connecting right now, it looks like.
So
Yeah,
I
it
have
looks
to
like
figure
you're
out
connecting
how
in.
Nelson and Artie were able to get on. Didn't work for
You
me.
did.
What I did was I went on to a general search for Zoom meetings, and then I typed in the meeting number. I didn't use a link at all. I just I Googled Zoom meeting, and it asked me what meeting I wanted to attend, and I just typed in the number. So I did a
Well,
workaround.
Harry, are you on now? It says Harry's iPhone is on.
Um,
Are we on Harry's iPhone?
It doesn't actually show his phone connected to audio.
yeah, he has to hit the video and the audio down the bottom of wherever he is.
Yeesh. Let me try calling him again.
Marsha, looks like your high school yearbook picture.
Here, I'm actually going to ask him to start up his video. Let me
Not
do it
quite
remotely.
that old. But I think I've almost got bingo on conference call bingo now.
I know, it's been one of those evenings, hasn't it? Let's see, somebody 959 numbers coming in.
Hopefully that's Harry.
Let's see, and unmute. Harry, was that you?
Take my work information off.
Well, I just unmuted whatever phone number that was, but I'm not sure who it was I just unmuted.
Steve,
Dan, can you hear me?
Yes, who is this?
Jenny.
Oh, hi, Jenny.
Oh, yes. I had the phone in also because I have no audio on the Zoom on the laptop, so I think I have to learn this a little better.
All right. Yeah, I had a few other people have trouble depending on how they connected.
The 959 is Harry.
Okay, I thought that might have been him, but he hasn't said anything yet.
Steve, you're muted again? Okay.
Intentionally, it looks like.
Intentionally, yes. Okay. You might be telling Harry how to unmute. Oh, there
I was acting like an Italian mayor there for a second. It's a good thing I was muted.
So is Harry?
Harry's audio is connected, but he's muted again at the moment.
Oh, if he's muted, but he can hear us, right? So we can tell him to. Okay.
Harry, you got to unmute yourself.
I'll see if it'll let me unmute him.
I think like *6 that says to unmute on the phone.
I think we're good. Harry, can you hear us and can you speak to us?
No.
You'd think we'd be talking to Venus here.
We're a month in now, right?
Yeah. I'm guessing he's on his computer like he was last time. So
the tag says iPhone.
Yeah, maybe on his iPhone.
Oh. Well, if he's on his iPhone, if he, on the bottom of where all the faces are, if he can click on the black spot and it'll say unmute and show video. If you can hear me, Harry.
I don't know, it worked so well the other day.
It did work well the other day. It was perfect.
Yeah,
There.
Harry?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, we can hear you.
Yay. Okay.
Okay.
Did you click on your video as well? I can only see
I'm
so
trying
many
to get,
people at a
yeah, let me
time.
get back to, let me get, well, I can at least hear you, so,
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right,
yeah,
I'm gonna
it says allows.
Okay,
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
go ahead. Oh, there you go. I'm on.
okay, good. I'm going to call this meeting to order then. The first line of business here is a coronavirus update. We have 105 cases of coronavirus in Brookfield. As this point in time, we have 3 confirmed deaths. Our condolences go out to those families. 5 people are hospitalized, which is a good number based on 105 people having this. The good news is 62 people are confirmed as recovered. So that's a very good statistic, and we hope that will grow. We need to continue to stay socially distant. We've been getting a number of complaints and concerns about people not doing that. And as of 8 o'clock tonight, you cannot go out without a mask. So if you're watching, put on a mask or you could get a ticket. And we don't want to give out tickets, but the police are going to do it if they see people not acting appropriately. That's pretty much it for the coronavirus update. Okay. So does anybody have any questions or concerns or issues? Sue, people had some questions?
I did. I had a couple of people reaching out to me. You know, one is they're very thankful for the communication that's getting out there. They were hoping for some good information. So I think the fact that you've said, you know, we do have 62 that are fully recovered, that's a good sign. And if we can kind of keep with the positive as well, they would appreciate that. Another question they had was testing and questioning whether the town could develop our own plan for testing.
The answer to that is no. The state and the federal government are having trouble themselves getting enough of the testing supplies to actually test. The town would have 0 success and is not allowed to set up our own testing. We do get a lot more capability as time goes on. If you're sick, you know, talk to your doctor, have a teleconference with your doctor, and they can give you a prescription to be tested and go to one of, I think it's 24 sites in Connecticut. We are also, CVS and the state have set up a testing site in New Haven, but that is for first responders only to be tested so that we can make sure our first responders are safe. I think in particular what they're looking for is to see if first responders have been exposed and are healthy. That does not guarantee that they have immunity, but it does lean that way. They just don't have enough data. So there is a hope that there will be widespread testing. I don't believe we're going to be able to open up the town and businesses until we have a much stronger capability for testing, because so many people are asymptomatic and are carrying the disease. Can everybody be on mute? Can we put everybody on mute? So, because we're getting some feedback here.
Sorry, it looks like that was Harry's line. It's muted now.
Yeah, so as long as we don't have that testing, we just don't know who's walking around asymptomatic and might be carrying the disease and might give it to others. So that's an ongoing project by the state and the federal government. It's interesting, the arguments going back and forth there. It's a little distressing in my opinion. Anything else, Sue, that you wanted to discuss?
Yes, someone had also asked me the question if the town could purchase N95 masks and hand them out.
On that, we have been able in dribs and drabs to get supplies for our fire, EMS, and police. We still do not have enough PPE or even them for a long period of time. N95 masks are in very short order. They need to go to the first responders, EMS and police, those people who are in the front lines first. The government, the state and the feds have said, as of tonight, wear a mask. Now, a mask can be almost anything. It can be a scarf, it can be a handkerchief, it can be a homemade mask. The goal is when you wear masks, if the person who is asymptomatic is not wearing a mask and you are wearing a mask, the chances of you catching the virus go down, I think 75%. If the person who has coronavirus, I'm sorry, goes down 25%. If the person who has coronavirus wears a mask and you do not, it goes down 75%. And if you both wear masks, somebody who has the disease and someone who does not, the chances of transmitting the disease from one to the other when both have masks on goes down to 1.5%. So it's very important that people wear masks.
Mhm. I think, Steve, too, there's been so many people in town who've been sewing masks.
Yeah.
And now they're doing, the extenders in the back, for the ears. I know I've seen a lot on Facebook of offers. So I think if someone is not able to get a mask, if they're able to get onto Facebook, they'll see a lot of offers that are there, or they can reach out and we can get them some contacts.
Right, they can reach out to
I'm
Town
happy to
Hall
give
and we can hook
contacts.
them up. I know the Lions are doing a lot of that work and other individuals are, and we can coordinate
Yeah.
mixing them up together.
Yeah.
Another thing that I want to talk about, helping each other. I said this in my last post that Sue and I discussed. Brookfield Recovers is a fund that we created to help residents in town with food and emergency needs. As of last Friday, we had raised $12,500. The demand for food has gone up, I would say 400% from prior to the pandemic. We continue to need help, and it's amazing that Brookfield has responded so quickly in a week and a half that way. But please, if you can, donate to Brookfield Recovers if you want to support your local neighbors.
Steve, also on your most recent correspondence, I want to make sure that we can get this out before we go on to something else. But on your code red, that we're going to have a Brookfield celebration on Saturday night at 7 o'clock. So we encourage everyone to go outside their front door and make some noise and thank everyone who's doing such a great job. And I know we listed some people on the code red. Hate to think that we've missed anybody, but I'll just say we're appreciating everyone in town for everything that they're doing.
Every single person, just if you're helping your neighbor, going shopping for them, picking up their drugs at the drugstore for them, especially if they're older, cutting their grass, dropping their mail off, anything you can do to help people, especially people over 60, 65. It's just amazing the response that this town has had for all of our residents. So what this Saturday at 7 p.m., not 7:20, 7 p.m., go out and make some noise and celebrate and thank these people so they can hear you. That's a good thing to remember, Sue.
Thank you.
Steve, Steve, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Before we move, I did come on. I had a little bit of trouble connecting. Are people aware of what is closed and what is open? Is the high school closed for walking? I mean, do you want to just mention if everything is off limits or, what is available for people?
Sure. Everything is closed except for our open spaces like Gursky, Happy Landings, and Burr Farm. The track is open to residents only. You now on the track as of this morning must wear a mask, whether you're running or you're walking. We have had some concern that runners are running by people 2 feet away from them. In talking to our director of public health, it's pretty clear that if you're running, you are spewing out possible coronavirus much further than if you were just standing and talking to someone. So you must wear a mask. We're going to be watching that carefully. But all the other parks in town are closed. The schools are obviously closed until May 20th. I believe Town Hall, after I have to discuss it with Harry and Sue, but I believe we will follow the schools and the governor by shutting down at least until May 20th. Remember, you still can get things done in Town Hall. You just have to call the department that you want. We do have staff in. Most staff is working from home, but we do have staff in if you need to drop off a document or pick up a document. Just call the department you're working with. And if you have a problem, call my office and we'll help you.
Very good. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you. It's good idea to discuss that. Anything else, Sue, Harry?
No,
I'm good. Thank you.
I think, yeah, most people know the drill. So, no, I'm fine with anything that people have asked me, so.
Yeah. Okay, so then we have this discussion of the tax deferral program. I'll make a motion and then we can discuss it. In accordance with the governor of the state of Connecticut, Executive Order 7S, paragraph 6, which directs the town of Brookfield through its Board of Selectmen. Now, therefore, the Board of Selectmen hereby authorizes, adopts, and implements the deferment program for eligible taxpayers with respect to taxes and municipal sewer and water charges as fully set forth in Executive Order 7S, and we rescind the lower interest option for that. Do I have a second?
I'll second. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, I can hear you. Okay, Sue seconded.
Bye-bye.
So on this issue, after we did further investigation, if we do the lower interest, we have to offer it to everyone who comes in, whether they ask for it or not. It would be a lot of work on our part, I think. And what we're trying to do with these orders is to give people who need the most help the most advantageous way to help. So after discussing this and getting more detail from the governor and his people, it seems that the first program, the one I discussed with the deferment, would be a better program because people have to apply. They have to show that they've either lost a job or have had a significant cut in their income. They have to prove it. We want to help everybody who possibly wants it. And they can get their taxes deferred for up to 3 months. We don't think that there'll be hundreds of people doing this. We believe that our tax flow, our cash flow will be fine. We have a significant amount of money in the bank just for things like this. We have a 10% unassigned general fund balance. So our belief is we can carry this. We collect about $34 million every 6 months in taxes. More than a third of that is collected through ESCO, meaning mortgage payments, and those are almost guaranteed to absolutely come in. The mortgage companies do not want houses they have mortgages on foreclosed on. And so that would leave 2/3 of the funds, about 20 million, that people might apply for. Even if we had a 20% unemployment rate, if you split it out evenly, that's about $4 million that we would be carrying for about 3 months. And I think it's a better program. After I initially thought the other program was better and easier, but it's not going to be. So we think that this program, with people having to come in and apply for it, is a better program for the town overall. Any discussion, Sue or Harry?
No, from what I've read since our last meeting too, I would agree with you.
Yeah, the way it was first described to us was a little different than it actually worked out to be. And we moved very, very quickly at our Board of Selectmen meeting. So I think it's a good idea to change it. Harry, how do you think? What's your feeling?
Yeah, no, I read through that and I think I agree with, with the approach you're going to take.
Okay, good. So having had discussion, all those in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Okay, carries 3-0. Are there any other issues that we need to cover, or does anybody in the public wish to make a comment? Nelson, you want to make a comment?
I do. I applaud the decision because it was the low interest rate option had more strings on it than a marionette. So it's sort of complicated to organize. And then in the case of the WPCA, we really don't have escrow monies coming in. So we'll have to make our own application that people have to submit if they have a issue where they're not able to pay. And it's just easier to extend the due date out 90 days than the other option.
Yeah, it is.
And then we'll also have probably some commercial accounts as well that will be dealing with restaurants that may have been closed and they'll have an easy time to justify their deferment.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. You'll be happy to know we're sending you $26,000.
Yeah, I saw that. So that was from the macro burst.
Yeah,
but
still,
We'll see. We'll see this one maybe in 2022. I'm not sure.
well, the wheels of government grind exceedingly fine, but still.
Yeah, that works at the speed of government. That's fine.
Yeah, so we apologize for that. We should have gotten that to you sooner, but I'm glad you brought it back up. Does anybody else in the public wish to make a comment? John Lucas, I see you're on. Do you have anything you'd like to add? Can we unmute John?
He's muted.
I know, can we unmute him?
No, I just appreciate all the work that you guys are putting in managing the town through this crisis, all of you. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. Any other public? Yes, go ahead.
Well, Steve, yeah, just one quick thing. I know that I was talking with Dr. Burrill a couple weeks ago. Are we all set with the Board of Ed as far as the time which we're going to be getting the budget put together? I know he was concerned that if it went too far, there was a chance of possibly losing some of the new teachers. Are we going to be, is he okay with where we are, getting the budget?
Yeah, I think so. I've been talking to John every couple of days or every day, just following up. The process that they're going through, the Board of Selectmen did give the Board of Finance an additional 30 days, which we thought was appropriate given they wanted to gather more information, understand the effects on our revenue and expenses so that they could set a budget that was not more, but just a budget that would work for everybody. As you know, the schools go through this almost every single year where they have to send a letter out to non-tenured teachers. There is a slight risk that some teachers might go take a different job, but most towns in Connecticut have the same problem. Most towns in Connecticut are sending out those letters to non-tenured teachers according to the contract. So, and we haven't had a lot of problems in the past. So I know the Board of Finance is meeting every single Wednesday night to discuss the budget. We're putting together information for them, both the Board of Ed and the town, on where we believe we're going to end up the year, where we'll have savings. Also, we started working today, Marcia and I, where we think we might have additional costs next year. If we have to keep a third ambulance on like we have right now, that's going to cost about $120,000 a year more. We have an EMT on call overnight, 7 nights a week. That's $50 a night to be on call. And then if you have to call them in, it's also a per hour charge. So there could be even more expenses next year than we planned for. So we're going to put that together and share it with the Board of Finance. And they have until June 4th to make that decision. And you should remember, they have to have at least one public hearing 14 days before the 4th of June. So that, I believe, is May 22nd that they're planning on doing that.
Right. And I'm aware of, I know that every year we go through this with the notifications to the new teachers. I think John's concerned, typically the budget is on a date where it's not, it's not a long time between them getting their document or their notification and then the budget being passed. He was just concerned if it went on much further than normal, that's where the possibility of losing teachers. But it looks like it's not going to be that much.
Well, actually, the budget will be set by June 4th. And if you remember 2 years ago, we had 3 referendums and it was the end of June till we got a passed budget. So this will be sooner than it has been sometimes.
Okay, good. Good. All right, just checking.
Thank you for bringing that up. Is there anybody else who would like to make a comment? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Sue?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Harry seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you all for joining us. If you've got any questions or concerns, please feel free to contact my office and we'll.
Steve?
Yeah.
Just a quick question before we head out. So the fact that we are not able to have our coffees with the community, is this something that we'll try to do mid-month, next month, assuming we can't do it then either?
Yeah, I think it's a good
Okay.
idea, don't you, Harry?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So
So we'll have
plan
our
on
Board
doing
of
that.
Selectmen and then 2 weeks later, our coffee.
that makes a good idea.
Coffee at 5:30.
Coffee at 5:30,
I
right?
have, can you folks hear me?
Yes, Artie.
I have a personal note. My mom was moved to Danbury Hospital yesterday with coronavirus.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
She
Oh,
was
Artie, I'm
living
sorry.
in the Maplewood at Newtown.
Mhm.
So she's the only one I know of who has the virus, but it's my mother.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's very
Got
sad.
102 fever,
Oh, boy.
stomach problems. I don't think she has respiratory problems, but this thing advances rapidly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did she just recently come down with her symptoms?
Yesterday, well, I don't know when her symptoms began. I know that she was diagnosed yesterday.
Okay. Well, she'll
Keep
be
her in our prayers, Artie.
Thanks.
She will.
It's hard. It's hard because you can't go up and visit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, all of a sudden it affects you when you.
Yes, it does. Yes, it
expect it
does.
to. It just
Okay.
happens.
She'll be in our prayers, and let us know how she does.
You bet.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Anything else, Sue, Harry? No?
No, I have a technical question, but I can wait till we dismiss.
You can ask a question.
Okay, I have a picture and I can see my picture here, but intermittently I get a big green dot with a phone in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And it just keeps going on and off, on and off.
Mhm.
That means
If you
you're-
swipe left, you can see other people.
What's that?
If you swipe
No.
left,
No, like right now I see a picture of you and now I see a big green dot, a black screen with a big green dot with a phone on it. And
Yeah,
then
that's
it'll
you.
come back to,
That's your own phone. You're on 2 devices.
oh, okay.
It
Yeah,
recognizes
sorry,
you.
Harry.
You
That
and
are.
if you,
icon represents
yeah,
the
if you
person who's
swipe, you
just
should be
on
able
my
to see
phone.
at least 4 people at a time.
Yeah, okay.
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 So
Oh,
you're
there
the
we
big
go.
green dot.
Okay. Okay.
We'll
That was
get the hang
meeting,
of
so-
this. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
By the time
All right.
we're all back
Bye.
to normal, we're going to be pros.
Yeah, right. Thank you, everybody, for joining.
Already.